Have you ever met someone and within a few weeks you're thinking, this might be the one? Your heart races when they text you, you can't focus at work, and you replay every conversation in your head. And everything inside you is screaming, this is real.
And then 6 months later, you're sitting there wondering, what happened? Where did those feelings go? Was I wrong about everything?
Here's the thing that nobody tells you when you're single and you're looking for a spouse. Those intense feelings you get when you're falling for someone, they're not love, they're chemicals. Your brain is literally drugging you.
And today we're going to show you exactly what's happening inside your brain when you're attracted to someone. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Because when you understand the chemistry, you stop letting it make decisions for you.
This is chemistry versus compatibility. And if you're serious about finding a marriage that lasts, this might be the most important thing you learn this year.
In this video, we're going to talk about the powerful chemicals that are released in your brain when you are in the early stages of romantic attraction.
The first powerful chemical released to your brain when you're attracted to someone is dopamine, and that's the brain's reward chemical. It's associated with pleasure, such as when you eat something delicious, or you win a game, or when you scroll social media and see something that grabs your attention. It's designed to make you want more. Researchers have actually compared brain scans of people in the early stages of romantic attraction to the brain scans of people on cocaine. And the same reward centers are lighting up. Your brain is responding to this new person the same way it would respond to an addictive substance. I can't get enough of this person feeling. That's dopamine doing its job. It's not your heart telling you that they're the right person. It's your brain giving you a hit. And then right next to dopamine is norepinephrine. Now that is a mouthful right there. It's adrenaline's cousin. It's what makes your heart race when they walk into the room, and it's the sweaty palms, the butterflies, the nervous energy, the reason you can't eat or sleep when you first start falling for someone. Fran and I experienced this, and for the first 6 weeks of our relationship, when we knew we were interested in each other, we ran on about 4 hours of sleep per night. And we are not people that just need 4 hours of sleep. We both need about 8. And after those 6 weeks, we knew we needed some sleep. Your body is actually in a mild stress response, but your brain takes that stress and labels it as passion. It reads that nervous energy and says, this must be really important. This must be love.
And I think this is where a lot of singles get tripped up, because we've been taught our whole lives that love is supposed to feel like that. The racing heart, the butterflies, the can't eat, can't sleep feeling. Every movie, every love song, even romance novels describe those exact feelings. So when you experience them with a real person, of course you think it's the real thing. And it can be with the right person, like it was for Chris and me. But what you're actually experiencing is a chemical cocktail that would fire for anyone your brain finds attractive and novel. It's not specific to that person. It's specific to the process. And that's a really important distinction. Because if you don't know that, you build your whole evaluation of a person on a feeling that has nothing to do with who they actually are.
And another chemical involved in early attraction is serotonin. But unlike the others, it actually doesn't increase, it actually goes down. And what serotonin does is it keeps your mood stable. It keeps you calm. It keeps you thinking rationally. Researchers at a university in Italy studied people in the early stages of romantic attraction and found that their serotonin levels were comparable to levels found in patients diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. Now that's very interesting. So the reason that you can't stop thinking about someone, the reason you replay every conversation and analyze every text message, lying awake at night, imagining your future together, it's not because this person is so incredibly special that your heart just can't let go. It's because your brain has literally entered an obsessive loop. And that same kind of loop that drives compulsive behavior. I know that can be hard to hear because those obsessive thoughts feel so meaningful and they feel like proof, like I can't stop thinking about them, so this must be it. But it's not proof of love. It's proof that your serotonin level is low. And it'll come back up. And when it does, you'll start seeing things a lot more clearly. The question is, will you have already made commitments that you can't take back? So in the early stages of attraction, high dopamine levels make you feel euphoric and addicted. High norepinephrine levels make you feel wired and passionate. And low serotonin levels make you feel obsessive. You're walking around in this state thinking, this person is my soulmate. Your brain is running a chemical program that's designed to bond you. It's not designed to help you evaluate, and that's the big difference. And so you're going to need help in being able to make evaluations, because when you're like this, you are just in a chemical-based fog within your thinking. See, all those chemicals that are in your brain and the attraction and everything that's going on, and along with that comes bonding chemicals. And the key player here is a hormone called oxytocin. You may have heard of it, maybe not. But it's called the bonding hormone or the cuddle chemical. It's released through physical touch, deep eye contact, of course, and long personal conversations, and especially through sexual intimacy. Oxytocin is the same hormone that bonds a mother to her newborn child during breastfeeding. That's how deep that is. And it creates a deep feeling of trust, safety, and connection. It makes you feel like you're home when you're with that person. And that's beautiful in the right context. However, the problem is that oxytocin doesn't have a filter. It bonds you to whoever triggers it. It does not care whether that person shares your values. It does not care whether they want the same things out of life. It doesn't care whether they are good for you. It just bonds you. It will literally be chemically attached to someone before you decided if there's someone you should build a life with. And breaking that bond can feel like heartbreak, even when the relationship was wrong for you.
And this is why so many singles end up stuck. Have you ever had a friend say, I know this isn't right, I know we're not compatible, but I just can't walk away. It hurts too much. You may mistake that bonding for love, but what they're experiencing is a chemical bond that formed before they ever did the real work of evaluation. The oxytocin locked them in, and now leaving feelings like ripping something out of their chest. But here's the thing I want you to hear. Oxytocin isn't bad. It's beautiful in the right context. It's what makes long marriages feel warm and safe after decades. It's what makes you feel at home with the person you've built a life with. But it needs to come in the right order. Bond after you've evaluated. Don't evaluate after you've bonded, because once you've bonded, you've lost your objectivity. Here's our last chemical we're going to take a look at today. When you're in the early stages of attraction, your body produces elevated levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Your body knows you're in a vulnerable, uncertain situation. Will they feel the same way I do? Are they going to call? Is this going to work out? Your system goes on high alert. Now, combined with the dopamine that cortisol creates a state of what psychologists call anxious arousal. It's a cocktail of stress and excitement mixed together. Here's the trap. A lot of people mistake that for passion. That emotional roller coaster, the highs when they text you and the lows when they don't, the constant uncertainty, it feels intense. And we've been taught that intense means real. This is especially dangerous for anyone who grew up in a home where things were unpredictable, where love felt inconsistent, where you never quite knew what you were going to get. Because for those of us who experience that, anxious arousal doesn't just feel exciting, it also feels familiar. It feels like home, and your brain goes, this must be love because this is what love has always felt like to me. When someone comes along who is calm, consistent, and stable, someone who might actually be incredible for you, they feel boring. There's no rush, no anxiety, no drama. And you pass them by because your brain didn't get its cortisol fix.
Now, if that's hitting close to home for any of you watching, I want you to hear this. You're not broken. You're not bad at choosing. Your brain learned to associate stress with love because of what you experienced growing up. And that's a pattern, and patterns can be recognized and they can be changed. So the first step is being aware that it's actually happening, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. But awareness is what gives you the power then to choose differently. Here's the piece that ties everything together. And honestly, if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. All of that chemistry is temporary, every bit of it. The dopamine, the norepinephrine, the low serotonin, the cortisol surges. Researchers estimate that the intense chemical cocktail of early attraction lasts somewhere between 6 to 24 months. So after that, your brain chemistry is going to return to normal. The obsessive thoughts fade, the euphoria levels out, and the first time you see the person and the relationship clearly. The spark is gone. I fell out of love. Something changed. But nothing changed about the relationships. The drugs wore off. That's all that happened. And if you've built that relationship on chemistry alone, if you never evaluated values or aligned on a vision, never did the work of really knowing yourself and the other person, then when those chemicals fade, there's nothing underneath holding you together.
But here's the good news, and I don't want anyone to walk away from this feeling hopeless, because there is genuinely good news here. Couples who build on something real, shared values, shared vision, genuine knowledge of themselves and each other. When the intense chemistry fades, what's left isn't emptiness. It's something deeper. It's a different kind of love. It's a chosen love. It's the kind that doesn't depend on your brain drugging you every morning. And honestly, it's so much better. It's more trustworthy, more durable, and more fulfilling than anything dopamine could ever give you.
So if you're single and you're serious about finding a spouse, not just a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but you're truly searching for a life partner, the most dangerous thing you can do is let chemistry drive your decisions. Not because the feelings aren't real. They are real, but they're not reliable for the long-term relationship.
Now, if any of this was new to you, if you're sitting here going, why didn't anyone tell me this sooner? That's exactly why we started this channel. We're going to keep bringing you the stuff that actually matters for building a relationship that lasts and leads to a marriage that lasts.
In part 2, we're going to get practical. We're going to talk about what compatibility actually looks like and give you real tools for evaluating it, even while the chemicals are doing their thing. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss it.
And we want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us, have you ever stayed in a relationship too long because the chemistry was strong, even though you knew something was off? Be honest, we've all been there.
And if you know someone who needs to hear this, that friend who keeps choosing wrong because the chemistry feels so right, send them this video. It might change everything for them. Until next time, continue to build something that lasts.